Calling all beings. Calling all beings.
Can I get a Man. Welcome back to Calling All Beings. That homie right there, the ride or die. What your name is?
Boston Bea.
Oh, man, and does she have a show coming up for you? Coming up soon. We have the birthday episode on the 31st, which I'd love for you to come and wish happy birthday to the Boston Bea. Yes, she's going to be 40 years old. She's going to be 40.
Oh, yeah, don't I wish. Closer to the other decade.
and then on the 8th
Yes.
January 8th, the financial... What are we calling it? How do we
I would say financial advice. Well, not really advice.
It is advice.
It is advice.
Just not like investing advice. It's financial advice.
Yes.
Expert in savings, mortgages, car buying, all these sorts of things are going to hit. And we're going to have Nan Gallagher. We're going to have and Misdemeanor.
Correct.
Who's in industry, and Boston Bea, who's also in industry. So you're going to have some smart people there. As Fredo Corleone would say, I'm smart. I'm not dumb like everybody says. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, Valhalla is here. Hello. The official attorney of Calling All Beings, Valhalla. She's going to be there. And so we're going to have, we're going to give out the phone number. So you're going to be able to call in. Plus we're going, and actually we'll put that out tonight as well, and we're going to send out the link.
Yes, financial tricks.
Yes. This
I like it.
Who's that right there? Who is that?
That is my homegirl, Boston Brandy. I was talking to her earlier.
The legend, Boston Brandy. Hi, Sister Wendy. Hello, Nancy Daly, and hello, Terry. Is it Doria? Tell me if we said that correctly. But anyway, good evening and welcome. We are going to do a little bit of a retrospective tonight. And because we were chastised by Ruby D from Australia that we cut it too early, and she was right, man. She was totally right, man.
You're the boss.
I screwed up. I mean, I realize when you stay on, like if you're a YouTuber, you'll understand that when you're getting this kind of interaction, it maximizes your funds. We don't do this for funds. So therefore we're just like, okay, we promised you Boston Brandy. We did not deliver Boston Brandy. Boston Brandy was sick. And therefore, we didn't want to like keep you on here if we didn't have what we promised you. So that was the reason why we ended it early. Okay. And, B is going to make that reflect in my 401k.
There you go.
All right. Man, I put this in the studio earlier and now it's not there. I don't know. Is Brandy feeling better? I talked
to her this afternoon. Hey, Brian.
Look who's here right there. The great broadcaster. He's going to be on. He's going to show me how to feed my show into another. But I believe he's going on at 7 p.m.
Yes.
Boston and New York time.
So in about 55 minutes.
In about 55 minutes, you'll see LTL Media. And who knows what he cooking up. Hopefully it's a stew because it's cold up in there.
Yes, right. And also we will be on LTL tomorrow. It's 6:30, right? I think it's 6.
Is Lady Zelda here and we missed her?
I might have missed her. Hold on.
I don't see her. Oh, and look who's here. Hello, Amber. Congratulations. I believe her son did very well in a basketball tournament. So congratulations to Amber. And then we have, it's 6:30
with Nan. Yep.
Okay, so you are 25 minutes and counting. We can do like NASA and do a countdown.
No, oh,
And
no. Listen.
Oh.
No. You're not paying attention. So we're talking about tomorrow's episode. Tomorrow. We're going on LTL Media, you and I with Nan at 6:30. That's what we were
Yes.
talking about.
Oh yeah.
He's
By the
going
way,
live tonight at 7 to do his own thing. So don't get it twisted, boy.
all right, I'm gonna go ahead and tweet this out. Going on live tomorrow with LTL Media and
Yes.
Nan Gallagher.
Yes.
Notice how I said that? Nan Gallagher.
Yes,
That's how
sir.
Pepper. That's how Please Pass the Pepper says it. Because
Can I
she's
get
from the
some
Bronx.
coffee?
They're both from the Bronx.
Yeah.
So tomorrow on LTL Media, our first appearance.
Yes.
Bea will be in the hair and makeup trailer 1 hour and 30 minutes prior to episode for Brian.
Exactly.
So
There
there's
you
that.
go.
And there
Yes.
we go. Hello from NYC, baby. That's where.
So
where
that's
where
4:30
I'm
your
from,
time.
man.
So plan accordingly. That's 4:30 your time. So
Yeah.
you got to plan accordingly. So
So you're saying I can't go to the gym?
yeah,
like-
or saying that you need to make sure that you're out of work on time.
Yeah, I'm working from home, so this shouldn't be a
Okay, there you
problem.
go. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So okay.
You can go to the gym after.
I can go to. That's right. I can go to the gym after.
Yeah,
Good point.
nothing
Okay.
wrong with that. You got the
No.
Y right around the corner. Like, there's
I
no
gotta get it
problem
in.
there.
Gotta get it in.
That's right.
All right. Talk amongst yourselves while I bring up the first video.
Yeah. So basically, I was talking to DJ about what we could, like a show idea for tonight, and I thought we could just kind of go through. I did some quick 30-second to a minute long clips of what we've done throughout this year. We've come such a long way since the 2025. Had a lot of ups and downs, but we are.
So here's the thing: if this
coming to the end,
Sorry.
so you always tell me.
When you tag it, it does that. Like you don't get to. It doesn't put it backstage. It puts it right up on stage.
Oh, okay.
So
All
it's
right.
like,
With that
thank you very
said,
much, yeah.
without further ado,
Okay. So this first one, hello, Captain Jerry Harris.
yes,
Here to join Boston Brandy as our two offensive linemen here in the chat.
You may need it. So keep your eyeballs.
Keep your eyes peeled.
X was pretty active today. So.
Yeah, shots fired. No, I had
we may
a
need you.
great conversation with Broken Baker earlier, right before the show, maybe 2 minutes before the show, and we had a great and productive conversation. So there's that.
Awesome.
So here we go. All right.
drawn out past the Karen Reed trial. So here's the thing: if this continues to be drawn out past the Karen Reed trial, so then this fact that he's suspended without pay, that comes in. I don't see how that does not come in. Therefore, if you're the defense in this case, I think in your opening statement, you tell the jury that the lead investigator in this case has been suspended without pay because of the actions that he took in this case.
Yeah.
This is how the Commonwealth wants to present this case. And I don't see how that doesn't come in. I think it's completely relevant, and I think it comes in as evidence. If, he's found administratively okay and he gets his job back, then, that can hurt the defense. The argument is that, well, he was under investigation for this. So on the one hand, you kind of you don't mind if it drags out because you do have that argument. On the other hand, if they come down with the finding that he's fired now, he's terminated, well, then that just adds to the, they have to call him. And if the Commonwealth doesn't call him, that would be someone that I would call as the defense. I'd absolutely call Trooper Proctor and get him on the stand to admit that he's been suspended, or not suspended, but terminated because of the actions that he took on this case. So.
Wow, how funny is that? We have chats going on the screen from back then, suffixed by Boston Brandy saying A+ panel. And then we have Boston Brandy in the chat as one of our mods. And this is very topical. Val, I'll get you the name of this company. It's kind of like military themed shirts. And then this happens to be, but the name is escaping me, but I will get that to you.
Yeah, she wanted to know the pattern. So what is the pattern?
It's Hawaiian. Yeah, it's a Hawaiian pattern.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Hawaiian.
got it.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was a clip when we had Brother Counsel and Nan on, and Olivia earlier this year. So obviously this was before trial 2. And it was a good conversation at that point. Proctor had just been, it hadn't been officially fired, but he was suspended. And all these things were just, obviously, again, so some of these clips we're going to see are throughout this year. So a lot has changed since then, which again is kind of like a year-end recap for us.
Bea, if you would talk about how topical this is, because now Proctor has been fired. Now he dropped his appeal. So talk about how that might play during opening statements or by the Karen's attorneys about the lead investigator, because that's exactly what he was alluding to, and it has now come to fruition. So if you would talk about that.
Sure. And, now with the civil trial, because obviously you're talking about now that we're done with the criminal trial, we're heading into the civil trial. And yes, that will be brought up. Just the investigation. And I'm sure they'll be able to get a Michael Easter this time around in the civil case so he can explain what a proper investigation should have looked like. So I think this is definitely something they're going to use. I think there's other, like the Miles King case and these other cases that, he was the lead investigator. I mean, we just finished with Brian Walsh. He wasn't really brought up there because that in this case, his investigation really didn't change the facts of the case. They did some shady stuff with getting the proper warrants and putting a tracker in the car when they didn't have permission to do so, and obtain additional information from his phone. But at the end of the day, the facts of the case was that he pled guilty just before to, the improper disposal of a corpse. So anyways, but I went off on a tyrant. Sorry.
No, relative to the Karen Reed case, though,
right.
Now it's come to fruition. Relative to the Karen Reed case, it's come to fruition that he was fired and he was the lead investigator. And as you mentioned, that Michael Easter almost certainly will be shocked if Michael Easter and his testimony don't make it in to talk about professional law enforcement officers.
Correct.
So there's that. Oh, there she is. We're going to be on air with her tomorrow. Nan Gallagher. Oh, Nan. Yeah, and you know what? We don't want to steal thunder. We could bring you up here right now, but Brian's going to want to talk about this. But yeah, I mean, essentially, Nan.
Well, we just saw a clip where Nan. That was her first time with Brother Counsel and Olivia. So, Nan, we're going back looking at the archives from 2025 and just kind of looking at all the different clips. We've only made it through clip 1.
I know, yeah.
Let
me get the other. I'll get the other clip out. But Nan, essentially, what this was you and Brother Counsel talking about how it would look in terms of litigation if Michael, he was suspended. If Michael Proctor was actually fired, now that he actually has been fired and he dropped his appeal, that really does. That's kind of what you guys were getting after, and what that's going to look like in terms of Karen's attorneys presenting this to a jury. That ought to be fire, because now you're going to have a judge that's going to not keep that from getting in.
Right.
Let's see. Here's the second one that you had was this one. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, open. It's down.
They do have to take into consideration, or at least they should, and they don't right now.
Okay, so this is, I think, Bea's. Oh my God, I have on a similar shirt. Bea's first appearance on Cab. So here we go.
Did you follow best policing practices? Did you follow your training? I mean, what's the training for if you're not going to follow the training in very tense situations? I mean, what they did and tactically how they handled that put the public at great risk. I mean, it's not like he was going anywhere. He clearly couldn't go anywhere. And, the EMT woman, who was at his side, she's cradling his face. So obviously she's not afraid.
I guess
so
that's
this,
it.
Yeah, it was meant to be a short clip. This is when she came back catching up with Jen. So that was earlier this year, not the first time.
Not the first one. Okay.
Yeah, no. I did the
Talk
ones
about
from this year.
that clip.
So that she's talking about when her brother was unalived by the Boston Police Department. He was shot 31 times while he was on the ground. And very sad story. When I learned about that story, it broke my heart. And within 30 days, the police, they did an investigation and they decided the police was right. They did the right thing. And, very sad. She lost her brother that day, and it could have been avoided.
Yeah, and well, the thing is what she's so upset about in that clip is that there was an EMT that was cradling the head of Justin, her brother. The police actually, so obviously he's no threat at that point if she's cradling his head and he's not moving. The police ask him to move away, her to move away, and then they shot him, which is absolutely bizarre. I mean, that's murder. That's what we call murder. You know, the situation, you've been covering that case in Arkansas right now. Tell me that gentleman's name again.
Oh, Aaron Spencer, the
Aaron
one that, with the daughter.
Aaron Spencer, guys, literally rescued his daughter from the clutches of an abductor who abducted him from their home. Chases the guy down. He executes a pit maneuver, disables the vehicle, and then he gets out and he empties 16 bullets into the guy and kills him. So essentially, Aaron Spencer, who's now running for sheriff in that county, has been charged with second-degree murder. And the police that executed Justin Root have been charged with, have a nice day.
Right.
You're cleared. Yeah. That's how you can put it into context. Aaron Spencer, citizen, father, rescues his daughter from an abductor, shoots the guy 16 times. Justin Root shot 31 times after they tell an EMT move away. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Are you actually kidding? You murdered the guy. You actually murdered the guy. Exactly. Aaron needs a medal. Okay, Val has something here. There's a ton of stuff we'll see in civil cases that we didn't get to see in criminal trials. I want to see Garrett Wing.
Yes.
Oh my God, Garrett Wing, exactly, the dog bite expert.
Yep.
Or I should say the dog trainer. The dog bite expert is actually Dr. Marie Russell, but you could see where his testimony and Garrett Wing's are probably going to be, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And Nan, if you have anything, if you want to say, let us, actually, we can put the link in there if somebody wants to jump up in there and hang out with us. We're going to put the link in, be that for Nan, Val, whomever, anybody, any of you out there that want to chat. We're going to go through our year-end retrospective. So there it is. Okay. Copy that into your StreamYard. Or if you want to call in and say mean things to us, here is the call-in. Here's the call-in number.
No mean things. Niceness.
All right, there we go. All right, let me bring up the next clip that Bea has selected for you guys. All right. All right. There's me photos. Jen Root. I believe that's Jen Root over there. All right. Come on, baby. Come on from iCloud. There we go. All right.
You know, when Gonzo and I first started, when I heard how they collected the evidence, I was completely in shock and in horror. I was in shock and horror. And I knew they had policies and procedures. I'm like, they have to have some kind of policy and procedure to collect it. You don't pick up blood in a red Solo cup. You don't use leaf blowers. Like, you just don't do that shit. So there's got to be some way. So that's why I specifically asked Peter Murphy in that interview. I said, Peter, you were a Canton cop, yes? Yes. How long? Like 15, 20 years. Good. Do you have proper policies and procedures in place for impounding evidence? And he said, abso-fucking-lutely we do. Thank you. So they did. So they did what they did, to me, looks like it was 100% intentional. They didn't want to find anything because there was nothing to find. I don't believe, like you said, DJ, I think it was.
All right. Yeah.
Go for it.
No, I mean, he's making a great point. And
whoa, look, we had an expert here. We got to call Canine Mind Help too.
Oh, wow.
Let me take that off the screen. Hold on. Then we can talk about Brian's commentary. Yeah. That is what I do for Australia. Bite analysis for courts here. giving recommendations once you know what you're looking for. The dog bite and what's happened is obvious.
Yeah.
Wow, there you go, Garrett Wing. Right? What? So yeah, are you a trainer? Canine Mind Help too? Are you a trainer? Let us know. Okay, please go ahead, Bea, with your analysis, and then
So
we'll get to Boston Bizzle Brandy.
what Brian is saying there was that this investigation was, the solo cups. When he heard about that, he's like, "What?" And he confirmed it with Peter Murphy that there are policies and procedures and things you're supposed to do. And it snows here regularly in Massachusetts, so this isn't a big, I can't imagine this is the first time. I mean, maybe in Canton, but things happen in the snow, and police get the evidence they're supposed to get, and they don't typically go with leaf blowers and solo cups, especially from somebody's house.
Why is the leaf blower a bad idea? Yeah.
Well, because you're blowing all the evidence away. Like how about you use something to melt the snow that was out there enough to track a cat. The little bit of snow that was able to track a cat should have been, they could have had defrosters, heater, whatever, a tent. Forget all of a sudden it was so windy they couldn't put up a tent. That's baloney. Like,
yeah, I've noticed. I've watched some Scandinavian. I've watched some Scandinavian crime dramas. Shout out to Broken Baker from Denmark, but they put up a tent, and they stake a tent in. And then they'll take like space heaters and melt the snow.
Right.
Hello,
right.
Sue. How are you?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, Boston Brandy, the chat. What do you think? Do you think? I'm just going to throw this out there. And Mitzi's right. Mitzi Lucius.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this out there. But do you guys think that they were trying to blow away tracks? Because the big problem with committing a crime in snow, rather than grass or gravel or something like that, is that you can see, like, for example, I mean, this is just total theorizing here. What if you pulled a Ford Edge up by the roadside to block the view of cameras on the other side of the street, of passerbys, and then you drag a person's body out of there and you place it? I don't know, Bea, there could actually be tracks associated with that action. And so, I'm wondering if it would be helpful to people who would have committed that kind of a crime to then take a backpack blower and blow away
Ruby.
Talk about who's responsible for this episode right now.
Ruby, we actually decided to have this episode tonight just for you.
That's right, Ruby. That's right. This is from Ruby from Australia. So let's give it up. Oh, wait, let me get the volume a little better. Thank you. I'll do the Hulk Hogan. And then yes, this was for you. For you, lovely lot, too. We wanted to, you, as you said, we kind of quit a little bit too early. So here we are.
So, Ruby, what we're doing tonight is we're going through our 2025 archives, and I picked the 10 video clips to show. So that's what we're working on tonight. So I hope you enjoy the show.
Yes, ma'am. Apparently your hair looks great. And
Thank you.
None of you have mentioned my hair. Never mind. It's not even worth it. Just
have you been naughty? I'm sure you have, Ruby. You've been naughty for all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Although DJ got in some hot water today. Yikes.
Yeah.
X is pretty scary.
Yeah. Okay, so Nathan Barnes, ex-RSPCA welfare, first ever behavioral trainer focused on body language and interaction intentions, helped write the policy on how to read dogs. Stop counting at 28,000. So is that you? Are you Nathan? Wow. That is incredible. So I guess we got to do another one, right? Let's get it.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Dennis.
Oh, is the legend here?
Yes, he's watching football, but he's here.
All right. Well, we're willing to split time with football. That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what else we got? I want to get to everybody in the chat. So we got Melanie Townsend, I actually think that it was a legitimate incompetence rather than conspiracy. I will respectfully disagree with you, Melanie. And the reason why is there are actually training manuals that tell you how to do these things. And so I don't give them the grace that it was incompetence. I think it was conspiracy, and they actually were purposely trying to disrupt the crime scene, because you could say the exact same thing when it comes to the taillight, right?
Right.
How did the taillight make it there? That is a specific action. Now, how do we know that? This is Nicholas Barros, Sergeant Nicholas Barros of Dighton PD, who has no connection to any human being in this case, does not care about anyone from Canton, Brian Albert, Karen Reed, John O'Keefe, nothing. Goes to seize the vehicle and says, the taillight did not look like that.
Right.
Taillight did not look like that. Now, what they showed us in court was a completely smashed taillight. So we also have, as Johnny, our friend John Camo pointed out, that there was a phone call going on from Lanka at the scene. Remember, he showed him on the phone. It's like, who was he calling? Because that wasn't in the report. Well, John and some of his colleagues will tell you they think he was calling Berkey. They think that he was calling Berkey to get, okay, here, Chief, this is what's going on. What the hell do we do here? It's in front of Brian's house. Because he knows better than to just go ahead and start going and knocking on the door and all that, because Brian probably would have punched his face out the door and have him land out in the snow.
Where was the concern for the people? Once John had been put on the stretcher, where was the concern for those people in the house, making sure everybody was accounted for? That you don't know what happened to John. You don't know if the people in the house are okay. Where was the concern?
Yes, that's exactly. And Nan Gallagher's still here. Hello, Nan Gallagher.
Oh, Misdemeanor's here. Hey.
Oh my, what? The trial and crime expert, Misdemeanor. Yes. And he says my dogs could have done a better investigation, even though they don't have the opposable thumb. They're missing that thumb. So yes, I agree. Have I been naughty?
I told her yes.
Yeah.
She's been naughty for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah. We're really trying to kind of like turn down the temperature between the two sides, but we're humans, we're tribal. We are at our core, in our DNA, we're hunter-gatherers who form into tribes. And this is what people do. So you have to fight your worst instincts, unfortunately, in this thing. And hopefully we're going to get there. If we have anything to say about it, we're going to get there. Am I perfect? No, I'm not. I make mistakes, but that's life.
But we have to try to lead by example, right? So we're trying to set the tone, and hopefully those will follow. Somebody has to be a line leader. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And when you make a mistake, like, okay, maybe I made a mistake. I owned up to it. Maybe I shouldn't have tweeted that out last night. Maybe that was a mistake.
Accountability.
That's okay.
That's all right. I yelled at you this morning for it. So
exactly.
we're good.
Yeah. And you learn from your mistakes. It's when you make a mistake and you double down and you triple down and you quadruple down that you look like an idiot, and you look like somebody who's incapable of sort of admitting, okay, I made a mistake. So I am perfectly happy to do that. I make them every day.
Right.
But I know that I love you guys. I love the community, and that's what the hell I'm here for. Certainly ain't here for cash money.
And showing somebody support is, just because you go on somebody's chat to show support, like, hey, we're here, we're listening to you, doesn't mean anything. You support who you want to support, and you watch who you want to watch. You know what I mean? Just saying. And it doesn't mean that because you're in somebody's chat, giving them support for when they're speaking their truth, it doesn't mean that it's against anybody else. So that's
true too. Great point. It seems that Dennis also loves Boston Brandy. Who doesn't love Boston Brandy? I mean, hello, y'all. Allegory of the Cave. We got somebody from Southern California. That is Diane Hill.
And can I address D-Mart real quick? You're right. We're not at the core of the issues, but again, it's trying to be supportive to those that, we're on the same page with. And, it's not to speak negative about anybody else, but just to be supportive to those that our views align. But you're right. We're not at the core. We're just, again, trying to lead here.
Let's get back to the case.
Yes.
And sometimes we fail. Sometimes we fail. and we do
Sorry,
shit we
didn't mean to
shouldn't
go
do.
off topic.
No, you're right. But again, sometimes we fail. Sometimes
Yeah.
we do shit that we shouldn't do. Okay.
100%.
Melanie, so here's the thing. What Bea said is very, very important. When you have a crime scene, you want to preserve evidence. By its very nature, a tool that's known as a backpack blower removes evidence from where it is. Because when you're an investigating officer, you want to see everything exactly where it is without moving anything. And if John had been expired at that point, they should have put police tape around the entire scene, marked where he was, certainly got a tent so that the public could not see what was going on. Okay. And then document all the evidence in what they saw as the crime scene. Okay.
And in addition, also take measurements. How far was he from the road? It was all a guessing game for both trials because they didn't exactly know where he was.
Right. So there's another thing. But by the very nature of a crime scene, which is to preserve everything in its physical location as the police come upon the scene and start their investigation, the backpack blower is incongruent with that. And nobody can make us think that we know more about how to do this than even Canton PD does, which doesn't handle murder. You know, when it becomes a murder, they obviously hand it over to the higher agency, which is the state police, who knew that the investigating officer was going to be a friend of them. So there's that. Okay. Somebody said something about Johnny. I didn't see that. Okay. Bev didn't allow AJ to show the jury what correct. Exactly. Because it was exactly. She did not allow that. She did not allow.
That was Michael Easter.
That would have been Michael Easter. And now here, so some of you might be saying, well, why did they choose Michael Easter? Okay. So if the Mass State Police, essentially their procedures were on trial by Alan Jackson and Eliza Little and Robert Alessi and so forth, right? And Dave Unetti. If their procedures were on trial, now you would have to ask another state's either GBI or TBI or New York State Police or New Jersey Police, and they're going to be a lot less likely to want to criticize brother officers. So you bring in a retired FBI agent who's an expert in constructing and analyzing a crime scene in Michael Easter, and you use someone who is at a higher authority level. You're not going to use Taunton. You're not going to use Somerset. Okay. You're going to use a state police. Well, the state police are on trial. So now you got to get somebody else. And it's disingenuous in terms of what this woman, this woman was purporting, that it was going to somehow sully the investigation. No, their investigation procedures are part of this trial. That's what makes it so sickening what Judge Bev did.
Right.
Okay. Somebody's looking forward to your birthday. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
It's misdemeanors, of course.
Yes. Thank you.
With a little more feeling this time.
Thank you.
There you go. That's better.
I appreciate it.
The taillight was smashed and the Sally port and scattered all over in the coming days at nighttime.
Yeah.
Was it at night by the time would have been dark, right?
Yeah, it was
5
at
PM?
5. When they first found the first piece on the 29th, it was around 5:35, I believe, or thereabouts, just after 5:30. Oh, bring Bailey to the party. I know I should. She's huge. Bailey.
It was my sister's house. I would have ran straight past
Right.
everyone to get in the house. Yeah, absolutely. But to do that is to say, like, these guys were actually concerned. They knew what was going on very shortly after they were getting phone calls. You got to remember, Higgins had already been at Canton PD. So, so there's a lot. There's so much here to construct a timeline. Okay. Let's see. They thought the girl would take the deal, and also they had gotten away with everything for years. Zero effort put into cover mates who work together. Captain, right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Valhalla Law, great point, as she often does. You are both not. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
We don't want to
You're
get
a
into
little
the drama
behind.
stuff.
No. That was already addressed.
I know
You're
it
a little
was.
behind.
I know it was.
Yeah.
I know that.
Sorry.
We're here to talk about the cases. That's what we do. We're here to talk about cases, not people's. All right, and have an officer protecting the scene. Yeah, the scene was left alone for something 6 hours, something like that.
No, it was left alone all day. This happened around 7 in the morning,
9
6:05 or
hours?
whatever. Like, yeah, like all
It was like
day.
9
They
hours.
didn't, yeah, they started at around 5:30 when they
They
first
weren't
started.
calling it a crime scene at the time. It's usually not a crime scene. You're right. When there's an officer laying on the ground on somebody's lawn. Yeah, it's not a crime scene. Okay. So that's more kind of double speak that really, really mentally challenged people are supposed to think. Yes, and gadded the crime scene overnight, and the investigation then should have taken place the following morning. That's interesting too. I hadn't thought about that. This is no doubt in my mind that this woman is corrupt. No doubt in my mind from the last trial. Oh, and look who's here. So Boston Rangers. Bev knows what she did, and people won't forget what she did. That's it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like echoing what Karen said on Howie Ka. Right? How do you say it, Bea?
Howie Ka.
There you go. All right, there we go. Hello, Shay87. Shay is one of our new fans from Washington State, which is the land of. You're not going to say Bigfoot?
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, we do a Bigfoot show here.
No, I know, but I
work
didn't know
with me,
specifically
people.
Washington State. There's
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
think-
states.
I feel like Shay doesn't believe in Bigfoot, so she's kind of like I say believe in. But yeah, bring Bailey. We got all right. How far back? Also, the incompetence. Val said. Also, the incompetence came out exactly when the lost evidence could have proved Karen's guilt one way or the other. True incompetence occurs more randomly. That interesting. Which lost evidence are we referring to? Do you know?
Exactly when the lost.
Clear that up for us, Val.
Yeah, I mean, lost.
Clear which evidence you're talking about, or if Boston Brandy, if you know what she's talking about here.
Lost
Michael,
evidence. I mean, like the footage from across the street, the one from like missing footage. Could that be the lost evidence? Trying to think of what was lost.
Oh, from Kelleher's house.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, nobody yelled officer down. No, it was there's a man passed out in the snow. That's what we
very well done.
Yeah.
I was going to say Andrea Burkhart, Washington State.
There you go, D-Mart. You're paying attention.
Yeah, you got it. Well, you know, the thing is we do a lot of Bigfoot content. We're Bigfoot. Oh, okay. That we're not going with that. We're not going with that. We're not going with that. There are, I'm going to tell you, Tennessee is the Rocky Mountain National Park is a hot spot for Bigfoot. Excuse me, not Rocky Mountain. The, help me out. Man, I'm forgetting the name of the park in Rocky Mountain National Park is here where I live. I'm talking about the national park that's in Tennessee and the land between the lakes. If you guys look up the LBL or land between the lakes, yeah, Julie knows a lot about Bigfoot.
Yeah, James Jackson. Somehow we're back on Bigfoot.
Yeah, we mean the actual Bigfoot, Sasquatch. You know, I'm telling you. Mark my words, Bea. We will have James Jackson on a Bigfoot.
We're going to make him a believer
with Bigfoot searchers in 2026.
Yes,
we will have James Jackson on, and it is going to be awesome.
Yes,
it is going to be awesome. Yes, it will.
All right, now heading on to clip number 4. What do we got?
4. Okay, give me a sec here, my friends. Unfortunately, I downloaded it, and it's in a photo file, so it makes it a little harder.
Oh, okay.
This one was Jen.
We already did Jen Root.
Yeah.
And then...
Is it? Maybe it's this one. Let's see if it's this one. Okay.
The issue of the video and the metadata and when, where, how it was all handled, it's a big deal. And now you have the Canton audit people entirely contradicting one of the many things that Brennan has said that many people believe is not accurate. And it'll be very interesting to see, what, if anything, the defense does with that in the next week or so.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if they're going to now use this as part of their cross-examination, when they're talking to some of the people that were, handling the videos.
Oh, let me play that one again. I'm
You know,
sorry,
the
because I
the
was
issue
watching
of the
Jeff.
video and the metadata and when, where, how it was all handled. It's a big deal. And now you have the Canton audit people entirely contradicting one of the many things that Brennan has said that many people believe is not accurate. And it'll be very interesting to see, you know, what, if anything, you know, the defense does with that in the next week or so.
Yeah, I mean, and I wonder if they're going to now use this as part of their cross-examination. You know, when they're talking to some of the people that were, you know, handling the videos.
Okay, so this is really interesting because we'd had Abby on Video Jesus, and Abby works with video forensic. She can do a forensic analysis. She can look at all the coding of a video and see that it's not original. And while she was not used by the defense team, she assures us that that was not an original forensic copy, and that's what Mark is alluding to here. So I don't know if you want to pick that up, Bea.
Yeah, I mean that this was right around beginning of this year, right? When we had this episode again before second trial. Yeah, I mean he's alluding to the fact that there's missing video and nobody's been held accountable, right?
No, I mean, that's the problem, is that how can you not produce? You've altered evidence. It violates their potential Brady and Rule 14 violations. And I don't know, Nan can probably speak to that, or Val, if they're still here. But you needed to turn over an unedited, unaltered forensic copy. And they were able to say, I don't know, you know, why do we see figures popping in and out of the video that are ghosting in and out? Because it's not. And then we start blaming the video, and then all of a sudden we find out it's actually in reverse, because someone on Karen's team noticed that the driver got out of the right side of the friggin' car so that they could make it look like they were looking at the other tail light instead of the actual tail light it was actually the right side tail light that they were looking at. And they wanted the jury to think that they were looking at the left tail light. Which is, well, why would they be looking at the left tail light, dummies? Do you think we're all a bunch of idiots here? Of course you do. Of course you do.
And the other thing that kind of didn't seem like it was a big deal, but it certainly was. What about the fact that after trial one, between trial one and trial two, Brennan hands over about November of last year a video of Higgins that they didn't have for trial one, where he goes back to the Canton Police Department in the middle of the night. Like, they didn't seem to get in any trouble for not handing over, you know, this video.
Right. Exactly. And then there was more video in the second trial, all of which should have been released in the first one. Let's see what Blind Spot says here. I have a DJ. You think Bigfoot's real?
Oh, does he? Oof.
Yeah. It's not think. Well, I can't say I'm a knower because I haven't had a sighting. I have seen tracks, but I do have interviewed a number of people that have had in-person sightings of Bigfoot. If you name a type of person that you trust, so we could be talking about teachers, we can be talking about law enforcement, military, talking about doctors, lawyers, judges, have hunters, a lot of them associated with hunting, have been out in the forest and seen a Bigfoot or had a Class A sighting. Some of them have seen a Bigfoot grab their deer and pick up and walk off with it. So yes, it's 100% real, as you and I are. It's just one of these things that is smart enough. It's a hominid. It's a biped hominid. It has a very developed brain, and it knows to stay away from us. It knows what guns are, and it knows that humans can be dangerous. So there's that. What else we got here? Lost. Let's see. Lost equals generally all times evidence disappeared or was never collected. Secure cam video, geofencing, any evidence that would prove proof positive disappear. Exactly right. So what Val could be talking about there is missing video from the Canton Library, for example. So that the hours that Karen would have drove by in her Lexus, and you would have seen that right tail light illuminated. That was missing. What else? Tom Kelleher. Don't have no video. Got 3 cameras on my house, no video. In fact, the police never even asked him for video. I
Right.
believe the defense asked him if he had video. Captain Harris saying
Well,
hello.
they didn't ask him because he didn't testify, but they asked the officer who had said, because he didn't. So you're saying they didn't ask him? They disclaimer, yeah.
Disclaimer.
No, my point is that one of I believe it was Gallagher who said he knows that his camera wouldn't have caught that because he's picked up packages for him in the past, and he knows exactly where his cameras face. So they never asked him for it.
But apparently, though, people that have looked at that house have seen that the cameras would have captured.
Yes,
It would have captured the whole of the Alberts yard from the left side of it,
Yep.
where it goes onto the neighbor, all the way to the right side where the
Correct.
driveway is.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, man, I'm close to betting my life. I'm close to betting my life that that would have captured Karen dropping, John walking up to the house, her sitting there for 7 to 8 minutes and driving away.
Right. And also the truck that was behind. Because don't forget, the whole time that Karen was there was a car, was it Nagel's?
Nagel's
Yeah.
car?
Nagel's truck was right behind her because they let them go on to Fairview and then they pulled up behind. They were by the mailbox, even though they claim that there was a what do you call it? The Higgins truck there. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just is more. It's kind of what Val's saying. Disappearing evidence. So we had disappearing Sallyport video. We had no video from the external portion of the Sallyport, which likely would have shown her taillight. And then we even have Proctor emailing Colleen Crawford asking her to manipulate video.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
there's.
And then you have the video of the Sallyport where it shows the outline of Karen's car. Then it looks like it was driving in. So they must have brought it in, all the snow melted around it, pulled it back out, and then brought it back in for there to be an outline of Karen's SUV. Just
Nan,
bizarre.
We're going to increase your share of the cap 401k. So thank you. Yes, an unedited and unaltered copy of the video should have been disclosed. So ain't no bad to doubt it. It's not a good idea. Okay, somebody's saying to promote marriage. Yeah, we're not gonna go there. We're not doing drama on the show. Captain Harris, Diane, 1, 2, 4, 6. Hello. There's lots of love. Karen noticed. What do you
The
mean
video.
by
So so they're going back to when you were talking about how Proctor got out of the wrong side of the SUV.
Oh, Karen
So
was
she's
the
saying
one?
that Karen, yes, during the
Wow.
trial. Yeah,
Wow.
trial 1. She noticed it as soon as it happened. She had a reaction.
Wow, that is so awesome, man.
But yeah, no
Wow.
grave concerns.
No
with
grave,
that.
no grave concerns about that.
No,
We have grave
not that.
concerns that we found a signal message between Alan Jackson and what was it? Was it not? I'm trying to think of his name now. The Crash Daddies.
Yes,
I can't think of their name, but I think we all know what we're talking about here.
Yes.
Bait and Switch, 100.
Yeah.
So corrupt from the
Dimples,
way
right?
beginning. I believe so. Okay. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Terry. That is very, very kind of you to say. This is what we try to do. Sometimes we fail, but it's what
Yes,
we endeavor to
Dr.
do.
Daniel Wolf.
Dr.
Dimples.
Daniel Wolf was the one. Okay. And the other one's Dr. Rentschler. Thank
Correct.
you, guys. You guys saved the day, man. Anybody who wants to come up here, I'll post the link in here. If anybody wants to get up here and talk, we'll post the link. Okay. Where's John's socks to this day?
I know.
What happened with the socks, Bea?
So there's a picture. I mean, there's a picture of him at the hospital where it shows that he had the socks on, albeit in the wrong direction, like they're backwards. And in the trial, they never showed his socks. They were never part of the evidence.
And the shoes, weren't they like There was a shoe that was a
shoes.
different color. The bottom, the sole.
So that's
Yeah.
a whole controversy because of the
Yeah.
picture that they took in the snow.
Mhm.
But they also took out two of the same right, or I forget if it was a right or left. Two people showed the same shoe when they were supposed to be showing different shoes. So yeah, that's
Yeah, and if one of you could, like either Valhalla or Nan, if you could comment on this, is this considered an unsolved murder now? So please let us know what you think about that, because that's a very interesting question. I haven't heard anybody ask that question.
well, as far as how the DA leaves it, because remember that on his death certificate it shows like they're trying to think
What it says on there?
yeah, like it was
We've got a new member.
oh, there you go.
We got it. We got to recognize. I know,
Yes.
like James has a really, or JFK has something cool he plays when he gets a new member. It's like a little rap tune, but that's really awesome. This is Lisa Davy, and if she's from, what's funny is in England, when someone's name is Davies, right? Davies, they say Davis the way we say Davis. So it'd be Lisa Davis. But anyway, thank you, Lisa, for becoming one of our members. Thank you very much, mate. We appreciate it. What else we got here? Man, you guys are putting so much good stuff in here. I'm not getting to the videos.
I know.
But you guys are killing it, man. Let's see. The defense team, mighty job. Julie was a library science major, and she was a librarian. I mean, how many people do you meet that have a degree in library science? But Jules is wicked smart. Trials should have been dismissed right there and there. Absolutely. And Joanna, there's your bestie. Are you going to put on Joanna from North Shore Nacho Night? When we spoke about this with attorney, I think Mark Betterow said, right there, he said, I was expecting she was going to dismiss the case. I think he was telling that to a couple of other law tubers, and he's like, I could not believe it that trial started the next day, just business as usual, like nothing happened.
Right.
So this shows the corruption of Judge Bev. And if you're out there, Judge McCarthy Neiman, please don't do this. Don't follow along. You know what your oath is. You know what you swore to. Don't do this. Don't be the embarrassment hack that Bev is. And I don't care if she had 1,001 trials before this where she got it right. She clearly was biased against the Reed team. The sidebars are going to show that. Okay? The sidebars are going to show that. And we only have trial one. There could be more in trial two. And if they have during those hearings. And then she didn't have the what was that hearing that they were wanting about witnesses? I can't remember, but it's where the lawyers would have gotten to cross-examine witnesses out of the sight of the jury. That would have been amazing. And they didn't get to do that.
Right.
What
year? Is that what you're thinking?
Stop it. I'm sorry. What? Yeah, was it voir dire hearings? It was evidentiary hearings.
Oh, okay.
That she denied having evidentiary hearing.
Correct. Okay.
LMRV, I appreciate you. Oh, okay. James is saying thank you to somebody. Blind spot. Interesting. Sounds like I just described our government. Yeah, I mean, you hate we have another member. Do you want James to do disclaimer before you have your financial advice episode? Okay, ask him right now.
James, can we get a disclaimer?
We need you to come on air. It's going to be all ladies thing, so I'm not even going to be there. But if you can just give a disclaimer at the beginning.
Or if you want to record a video and send it to us, we can play it.
Yes, if you record
that way he doesn't feel like, okay, now I got to dip.
Exactly, yeah. If you can record a disclaimer video that past performance is not a guarantee of future results. we can work on the language, but we just need to. Yeah. All right.
We just need a disclaimer.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much, Karen.
Yes, thank
Thank you for becoming a cab member. We really appreciate it. We're very expensive. It's 99 cents a month. So I just want to let you know. It's very, very expensive. I really appreciate that. And also, my friend from Washington, right there, Shay, what's up, homegirl? Come on back now. It's on a loop, so it there we go.
There you go.
Thank you, Shay. Shay, please let us know of any Bigfoot sightings that are reported in your community in the greater Washington area.
All right, let's get to video number 5.
Okay, video number 5 before I get fired. Okay.
Right?
Okay. All right, here we go. Video file. All
Is
right.
it 5? I think might be 6 actually.
Okay, let me see. All right, there was Bedro. I think it's this one right here. Okay, it's downloading. And here we go, folks.
Guess you've got to show me why she's guilty. But that has also been years of building up, watching trials, if you know what I mean. I've learned the hard way not to jump in 2 feet, which is the usual practice, and I've done it myself, I've learned now, just show me the evidence, show me the proof. If you can't, then a defendant has a right to be innocent unless proven guilty. So I stand by that, even though sometimes it's hard, because you've got that maybe doubt in your mind. But the Commonwealth are there for a reason. Make them earn their money. So no, I've never had a doubt in my mind that she's been innocent.
Talk about that one, Bea. That was a great one. What was that episode called?
It was our out-of-towners roundtable that I had. I believe you were sick that day, so I had to step up and host it. So,
and so we ended up. It was on one of my trips to Massachusetts. This is the one where I met James Jackson in person. Met him over. He looked very, very handsome over by court. We got him spiffed up and ready to go into court because he got invited. And we took a walk together. And then later that night, we had a shot and we had some food. Please pass the pepper. Provided some food for everybody there. And we had some food and some drinks. And if we didn't break bread, we certainly broke pizza. So there's that.
Yes.
And we had a shot of some kind of whiskey that he picked. I don't know what the hell it was.
I don't know. I didn't get a shot that night.
But the folks that you saw on screen, let's talk about them. So that's Dylan.
Yes.
What's the name of his program? Dylan's program. He's from Wales.
Oh gosh. Alternate Corner.
Alternate Corner, right. So Dylan is from Wales. He has a show. He's been covering Karen Reed for a couple of years now. He's made 2 trips to Massachusetts.
Yes.
Good friend of the Sweeneys and so forth, and just a really, really fantastic guy. He got to meet some other Brits who were in town. They were going to Salem to study some witch stuff, and they ended up, but they're Karen Ritas. So they came to the North Shore event, and then they came to court, and that's Vicky. Jan Holman Sears. So we had the Southerners there. Heather Honey was there from Alabama. Oh,
yes.
Nellie. And Jan Holman Sears from Mississippi. And how adorable it must have been when Heather encountered Jan and was like, oh, wow, you sound like me. You have an accent like me. And Jan Holman Sears brought her 90-year-old mom and her daughter up for this event. So it really, and then they came to our meal of food as well. Yep. So it was a great event. We got another member, so we're going to have to cue it up here. We have, our friend from Australia, Ruby.
Yes. Thank you, Ruby.
Let me get the applause going, mate. Thank you, Miss Ruby. We got to have you on here sometime because we want to hear you, mate. We want to hear you. And Diane 12466. Thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you, love. I'm trying to sound like I'm one of the Beatles. Oh my God, I've got to turn off the applause. I'm trying to sound like one of the Beatles. All right, you ready for the next one? Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Okay, we don't have too many more to go. I think we have 4 left. So, and they're rather brief.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm sorry, just the way I downloaded them. It's in the Apple folder instead of being on. Okay, who's that one? Oh, we got Peter Murphy. Okay, here we go. Peter Murphy. All right, here we go. 30 years in Canton PD. Here we go. And Val,
saw it on the news. I saw pictures of the house, the snow, and it was probably on the. It was either the 29th or the 30th of January that I saw, the initial broadcast that there had been a tragic death, allegedly caused by a motor vehicle by the victim's girlfriend. And having been a cop for almost 3 decades, and wanting to be one all my life, I believed the narrative that was being told by law enforcement. Why wouldn't I?
So what's being said here, and we've got you, Little Miss Red Velvet OG. We've got your starred, because that is something we got to talk about, because I was not aware of that, and we're going to want our attorneys to weigh in on that. We also have Nan Gallagher starred. Essentially, Peter Murphy saying he believed the first narratives that he was given, that he was told. Oh wait, sorry, I'm looking at you here.
Yeah, I'm looking off.
I'm looking at the wrong.
The wrong one.
Yes, go ahead. So what do you say about it? So basically he's saying that he took it as, okay, this is what happened.
Right, because he's always believed in the department that he was at for 3 decades. He believed in, when he hears a narrative from his fellow police officers, that he takes it as truth, right? And I think he's as shocked as the rest of us.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing. I actually saw a video the other night of a sheriff's office detective being pulled over by town police, and he was already had a date to resign because he had started his own security business, but they essentially ruined a portion of his life. He's still successful in business, but they went after him because he didn't. And that case, we're going to have to cover that. Let's get to our starred comments because you guys are so far ahead of us, but let's get ahead of what we got here. Okay. Nan, and Valhalla, if you guys can dial in, talk about this one. And also Valhalla, later on, we're going to ask you kind of like, when you first heard this, was there a modicum of truth? Were you like Peter? Were you kind of like, oh, wow, did she really do that? Okay, so she's saying, calling all beings in the new civil trial, those testifying witnesses are being told to sign NDAs.
I hadn't heard that. I hadn't heard.
That's I need Val and Nan to weigh in on this, because I don't even know how to process that. I don't know why they would do that. So I really would be very interested to hear that. Now,
that must be coming from the other side, not Karen's side, because Karen's side wants everything out there.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Got it.
NDAs must be from the other people that are from the other side, because they're the ones that have more to risk than Karen.
Good one. Great one, Bea. That's a great one, because that may be the thing, is that they're saying, okay, we were successful in getting it pushed out of open court and into the federal court. And now they can go ahead and suppress what was said in court. But you know what? They're going to be court reporters there. You're going to have the Mike Crawfords of the world there. They're not going to be able to suppress it all. We're going to try to get you down there. Get you in court. So is what Nan is saying, as far as the NCDAO, the Norfolk County DA's office, is concerned, this is an unresolved, unattended death. I don't recall homicide being on the death certificate. Wow.
Yes. And that's what so you're way back, but yeah.
How can I not be? These guys are on fire. You guys are making a great show for us tonight, so I really appreciate you. We got a bunch of disclaimers here. We got disclaimers everywhere. All right. And thank you, by the way, Ruby donated 10 cab memberships, and that is very, very kind of you. Thank you for doing that. Let me see what else we got. I'm going to try to catch up to you guys. Even in if I don't get, it's more important that we interact with you than we show the videos. So
Right. I mean, we're down to like 2 more, and they're really short. Yeah, I did only 30-second ones.
All right, manner of death undetermined. Okay, so everybody's
Correct.
saying manner of death is undetermined.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so everybody's saying it. DMAT.
Yes,
timely
that's the word I
manner.
couldn't find.
Oh,
when I
we
was
have a
trying to-
Kiwi here. We've got a New Zealander. Give it up. If we have a Kiwi in the joint, man, give it up. Are you timely manner? Are you Kiwi? Because we have an Aussie and a Kiwi. I love it. We should be on the rugby field right now.
There you go.
Hey, Ruby D. Ruby D's popular, man. She's popular.
Yes.
The law at the law. Thank you for the info. Yes. Come on the show, Nan. Nan is welcome to come on. Nan,
she said she
Yeah.
already replied to that.
Okay.
She said she was gonna go catch LTL. So I don't know if she was
Okay.
going on or.
Oh yeah, maybe she's on. Absolutely, go check LTL, man. Go see Brian LTL when. Well, you have to finish with us first. That's the only disclaimer.
You can do it on 1.5 speed.
Yeah.
And catch up real quickly.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Exactly. You're the queen of that. You're mistaken about the degree, love. I was a librarian though, while learning there, but still. Well, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry I got your degree wrong. If you please present your degree certificate. I'm just kidding. Let's see. I wanted Karen. She wanted Karen found guilty, and that was obvious. I think it is. It's very obvious. We got a salute for Captain Harris from Lisa Davy. We got love for Lisa Davy from Little Red Velvet OGZ. And I think we already recognized Karen, our new member. Thank you. All right. Many law tubers were highly resistant to considering Bev deep. Yes, I noticed that. I was on it from. Okay, so I was still in Georgia at the time, and one of my my best friends from high school has been a law clerk for 30 years. So we started talking about Karen Reed. Immediately, I became enthralled with this case. It basically took over the show. And I said, this woman is biased. I can see it. I can feel it. I can hear it. And then everybody came around. But we have to give some grace. This is why. If you're a law tuber and you're a lawyer, that makes you a legal analyst. And she can't just, these guys can't come out and just go, oh, she's biased. I can do that because I'm a talking head. I'm just a guy with a YouTube show that's analyzing this stuff, but I'm not a legal expert. I haven't been trained. For a lawyer, it's different, and what if one of these lawyers could have to go and make an argument in front, like Mark Betterow. Mark Betterow was external to this case, and now he was this close to making an argument in front of Judge Bev. So you have to be very careful, and he's actually still careful. Now, why is he still careful? Because he's going to be litigating cases in the Massachusetts justice system. So those guys have to be very careful. Val's retired. She can give a big middle finger to Judge Bev if she wants to.
Right.
All right. And Littleman, absolutely go over and see Brian. We got more disclaimers here.
Yes.
Say hi to LTL for us. Judge Bias Bev McAlbert. This is as accurate as you can get right there.
Yeah.
And the Commonwealth's attorneys, the district attorneys, to me, were very, very clearly, and we asked this on the show, and we couldn't really get Mark and Brother Counsel to sign up to this. But then again, they're professionals. They have a reputation. They can't be having these clips shown of things they said on shows. That the the DA's office and the special counsel and Hank Brennan I'm not sure his exact title. I'd have to look at one of his something that he wrote or a letter that he signed. He was acting like a defensive. Right? He was acting like a special prosecutor. He was acting like a defense attorney for the Alberts and or the Commonwealth. He was, I want to say this again, a prosecutor was acting like a defense attorney for the Commonwealth and or the McAlbert family. That's what we saw. That's what he did. He wasn't a fact finder of truth. People are agreeing with Nan.
I remember I was there on November 13th when he made of last year, 2024, when he first made his appearance in court. And he was like, I want to give a fair trial, like saying all these things. And it was like, oh, wow, we're finally going to get somebody who's going to be fair. And he proved us completely wrong.
And well, who didn't believe him from minute one?
You, because you were questioning that 75,000 that he was first. It was said that that's how much it was going to cost for him to do this. So, yeah, you were like, but it ended up being way more than that.
I never believed it from minute one. I knew he was a liar, and that he was going to do. He basically, he was going to do exactly what he did. That's what I saw. So. But
he just put out the narrative like he was going to be so fair, and he just nothing but.
You got that was so generous of you. You guys are so awesome. All green in the chat. Oh, Dylan, it seems like he does. He does seem like a nice guy. We got to meet him and hang out with him a little bit. He was at the Meal of Food.
Yes.
So we saw him at court. So we did get to hang out with him a little bit. Seems like a very nice guy. Right. Melissa Mock, hello.
What do you think? Couple more clips, and we can call it out.
Yeah, I just want to get. Man, look at you rushing to get out of here.
No, because I feel like
she's gonna give us another strike. She's gonna do it again. She's gonna take
her
riding crop.
I want to make sure you get through all the clips
on Twitter.
And I'm gonna hit you if you don't get through all those clips because I did the work. So
I know.
I don't want you to be like, it's late.
Apparently you have the same living room furniture as Nurse Kim. You know what? They live in the same town. They probably shop together at the same stores.
Stop it.
At least
I've yet to run into her.
I have 5 A4 notebook. Wow. Oh, that'd be interesting. You know, if you want to come up here sometime, and present what you have, like take some of your greatest hits, you are more than welcome. We will send you a link and you can be here. So all green.
That's right, Julie. I got to keep them in check.
You guys are really, really sweet. Thank you so much. The alternate corner. So yeah, I'm way behind.
You're way behind. I think you're better off starting from the other end.
Okay, yeah, I might have to start from the other end. If you made a tweet and I missed it. Ken Hathaway is here from Nottingham, England. So he could have spoke to Dylan in British. You know, even though Dylan speaks Welsh as well. It's been a while. Hope you're well. DJ and Bea, missed you all. Sorry, I broke my glasses and it's hard to type. Mate. So I want to ask you, Ken, because you're here. I've been watching on Amazon Prime about narrowboat life, and we've talked about it a little bit. It's basically these anywhere from 30 to 79 feet, maybe, these narrow boats that traverse the canals of England, and there's a whole infrastructure to make sure that you get what you need. But it seems like such a beautiful, peaceful lifestyle, especially if you're retired. But Ken, let us know if you've kind of dabbled or know anyone who's doing narrowboat life, because we had Christopher Sharp on from Liberation Times, a UFO reporter from London, and he told us, he said, DJ, half the Brits in England want to have a narrowboat and be able to traverse these locks and waterways around England. So I'm sorry I had to take you guys there, but man, it was really cool. Peter's the man. I am way behind. Let me know if I can get to you. Dave Matthews' neighbor. Oh, you know, it's always baffled me. Peter Murphy brags he worked for Ken for 3 decades, but never shared one story where he witnessed corruption. You know, Dave, I can't speak for Peter Murphy. Actually, I believe that Peter spoke about the Canton officer who had been robbing the catering facility of steak tips, was caught by the owner because she installed cameras and the officer didn't know it. She reported it to someone at the fire department, and then they reported it to the police. So I believe Peter has spoke about that. But I think Peter has spoken that it's not something that he engaged in or saw. So that's something you would have to take up with him. But Do you think that's fairly accurate, Bea?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we got another new member. And you guys it's raining members tonight. Oh, Terry. Thank you, Terry. Namaste. That was very kind of you. All right, Valhalla. Let's see. I guess we should go to the end. All right. I think Lady Zelda's here.
Yes, she is.
Hi, Lady Zelda. How are you, Mom? You're right. I'm going to play the next clip so that I don't get fired.
Yes.
Is Lisa, are you from England? Mr. BN Trouble 31. I don't know who that is, but I am more than, will entertain anyone who can put a cogent sentence together and has something interesting to say on this show. All right.
Yes, Lady Zelda is a friend of the show's.
Yes, she is. She has been on our show a couple of times, and we have been on her show a couple of times.
Yes.
And okay.
Like attacking Brad and everything, which I don't know. That's really the only kind of hate, close to hate. I wouldn't call it hate, but close to hate that I've seen involved in this. Where it's coming from that one guy, James Rutter.
That's such a good point, though, because I think that exact topic is where a lot of the hate and criticism is coming from. Like, there's this kind of accusation that the family wasn't accepting of her sexual orientation, and a lot of people were like, yeah, I was stunned to find out that that she was bisexual or gay or whatever from this Netflix documentary. And I just keep thinking, like, really? Because when was the last time that you saw a missing poster that had someone's sexual orientation on it? And
Bea, what do you think?
Yeah. So I believe that was the first ladies roundtable I had that we were covering Amy Bradley. And I really liked the point that Grace made, because, the Netflix documentary made such a big deal about her sexual orientation. But like she said, that's typically not the way you just, identify someone. So yeah.
We need a Lady Z symbol. Hi, Lady Z.
Yes.
Peter Murphy and his family received multiple threats. Yeah, that's something I want people that are outside the ecosystem of Canton and Massachusetts to remember. And this is why, if you want to know what drives John Camo and Boozy Beauty and Eric, the folks on Canton Chronicle, this is an issue for people that live there. There is fear. We have spoken with Dennis Sweeney. Peter Murphy doesn't live there anymore, but he has friends. I don't know if he has family there. I would have to ask him. But there is a lot of fear surrounding. I know for sure, regardless of where Peter lives, he's received threats. I know that. And Peter is armed. So I want everybody that would approach him to take caution when approaching Peter, whether you're approaching him to do him harm physically or with a weapon. I would encourage you to not do that.
And I believe the quote was, he has a target on his back, is what he was told.
Yes.
By other fellow police officers.
Yes. So I want you to kind of think about that. Whoever the gentleman was earlier that formulated that question about Peter. And you know what? It's a legitimate question. I think you ask a legitimate question, but I think also we've just kind of bounced it out right now. So what else do we need to get? Oh, this is going to be about right here. I think Ken is going to get in there about Brian Wanless, because that was a story that Peter told, and I don't know why that story hasn't made it into trial, because Brian owned a body shop, and as it turns out, the dent in John's car was fixed.
And don't forget, trial 2, Jen McCabe's also stated that there was the mechanic guy was at the house. So there was a reason why she even brought it up, because she didn't bring it up trial 1, but to make a reference that at John O'Keefe's house. was the auto body guy. There was a reason for that. I think we're gonna. Yeah,
there is no way.
Could be the ice cream truck people. Just saying.
Not the FBI, not the ones with the Chevy Tahoe and the blue lights in the grill and all that stuff with the government plates. Okay, truck. The plates that say U.S. Okay,
that's what that I believe. That's what that's about. But
we'll yeah, it's really interesting. Give me a reason. I want anybody out there that's listening, especially if you're a McAlbert. Give me a reason, because you're the one that we really want to talk crap about is you. That's who we want to talk about crap out is the McAlberts. Give me a reason why an auto body man would be at John's house post his passing for any reason. Any reason. Why would anybody be touching or manipulating John's car in any way? You could consider it evidence, but you don't want to consider it evidence. And the reason you don't want to consider it evidence is because that means that's where Karen cracked her taillight. And I said from the beginning, Bea will tell you, because obviously we were all upset with how the second trial finished. And I said, the key to this trial all comes down to Nicholas Barros and the taillight. And if they believe Nicholas Barros, then she's found not guilty.
Right. And just a correction. Yes. And just a correction. You said how the second trial ended. You meant the first trial, just for clarity.
I was very upset about how the first trial ended.
Correct.
But going into the second trial, I told you everybody was putting out all these ARCA and all this other shit. And I said, all that stuff is all because you're asking somebody to be like they're not a physicist.
Right.
They're not a mechanical physicist, or I'm trying to remember Dr. Wolf's degree, but it's medical related. But they just didn't want him testifying about dog bites and stuff. And the other one was like a mechanical engineer with a master's in physics or something like that. But I said to you, it's all going to come. If they believe Nicholas Barros and the taillight, the trial's over.
Yeah.
That's it. Simple as that. And they went and tried to impeach his credibility. And he was cool, calm, and collected. And then we learned after the fact when Nicholas Barros said that in a conference call, they tried to shape his testimony and they were pissed off that they couldn't. And I hate to say, because I'm not going to criticize my peoples, meaning the defense team. But if they would have cross-examined him, because he was actually a prosecution witness in the first trial, if they would have cross-examined him, that could have been it. That could have been it. There was a lot on the conspiracy theory. Somebody's calling in. Let's see who it is. Okay. Oh.
I can't hear. Are you talking?
Oh my goodness. Hang on. Lady Zelda, are you there? Oh. I'm doing well. Bea, can you hear Lady Zelda? No?
I can barely hear you. Your audio just went down.
Oh man, I don't know why it's not working. Can you tell me and I'll share? Oh, she's saying the test. Oh, how's this? Test. Okay. Go ahead. Oh, they're not hearing you for some odd reason, but go ahead.
And your volume, can you hear me? Mm-hmm. Okay, but your volume is like way low. Be a takeover. I know I'm going to have to.
Lady Z, let me get you on StreamYard because everybody needs to hear this. So let me get you on StreamYard. I'm going to send you a link to this. I'm going to text you a link. You don't have to be on video if you want to just be on audio, okay? Thank you.
All right,
it's all good. Okay, here it comes. Bye.
All right,
Okay,
let's
can you
see.
hear me
Yeah,
again?
now you're fine. Yeah,
Okay.
your
All right.
volume was like almost
Yeah.
non-existent.
I'm going to send this link. Lady Zelda has something interesting. She did a reading. So let me get and invite her. Let me send her the link. And then we'll go from there.
Can we catch another clip while we're waiting for her to arrive?
Oh boy, let me hang on a second.
No? Okay.
Probably not because I have to do everything.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. I'm going to have to text this to her. All right. Let me do that. So it's 3. Okay. All right. Okay, there we go. Okay. And just send her the StreamYard link.
Okay.
And she'll be able to connect up with us and jump on. And she did a reading and it's interesting. I don't know why
Take the wheel. I'm trying to.
I don't know why you couldn't hear her.
Yeah, it's so
the
weird.
thing,
It's like they're-
one of the limitations we have out there, team in the chat, is that with StreamYard, we only have one team member, Nathan, who runs Cab and owns the StreamYard, and me, and so I can't give it to Bea. Otherwise, she could play the video for you.
Right.
But
So why don't we do that while we're waiting for her to arrive? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I'm talking and okay. Okay. Jeez, tough crowd. All right, here we go. All right, here comes another video file. And then we'll get into it. And then Lady Zelda should pop up here. Oh, there she is. Okay. We didn't even have time to do that. I'm going to add this one. Oh, this is John. This is going to be great.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to see it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to bring him in anyway, and then we'll just.
Was launched.
It's not easy to hush up John, but we just did it. Did you see that? Where's Zelda? Where'd Zelda go? Zelda. Oh, there she is. Well. Okay, everybody, if you would please join me in welcoming Lady Zelda Kelly.
Hello, everyone. Hi there. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, love.
I'm doing great, my darling. You look beautiful today. I'll tell you what.
Sorry.
You're welcome. Hello, Governor. How are you? Do you have the vicar here? Do you have the vicar?
The vicar. I need to talk
We
to
need
the
the
vicar.
vicar. I need to speak to the vicar, please. Well, thanks for grabbing me a link. I just wanted to share something with you really quickly.
Please.
And that is one of the ladies from the Standout for Karen, just I think a few days ago, called me, got a reading for me, and she said, listen, I wanted to let you know this, that Carrie Roberts was across the street from us and said that she stayed in her car. She backed out of a driveway, backed out at just a really high rate of speed. Looked, it scared everyone, almost as though she was going to be coming, at them. They all got out of the way, said she rolled down the window, gave them the Canton salute, and you know what that is, flipping everyone off, and said that she was mean, calling everybody names, and people were across the street yelling, screaming, harassing them, and pretty much she said this is what they go through. And I'll tell you what, when you go through something like that, who do you call? You can't call the police.
Right.
You can't call, who do you call when you're harassed? I mean, so you've got to take it. And said that other people were with her, Carrie, and said that they rolled down the windows, were shouting obscenities at them, saying that they were liars and how dare they go forward with this, and Karen should be convicted, and they're still trying to get her convicted, all this crazy stuff. So anyway, I just thought I would, this was just a few days ago, she called me Friday yesterday. I don't even know what day it is because the holidays have messed me up, but it was just the last standout.
What do you think about that, Bea? What do you have to say?
Yeah, I
Did
was
you
there.
heard about? Okay.
The last standout.
No, I mean, what?
Were you?
I'm talking about what have you heard about these kind of things happening in Canton?
Yes. Yes. Did the lady's name begin with an A?
No, it began with a T.
Okay. Yes, I do know somebody who also lives on her street. And yes, I've heard that they do this, that their children are running wild through the neighborhood and
Yeah.
always being very mean to people on that street.
Right. Right. And they had talked about, I'm seeing in the chat, someone is saying, why don't they get out the camera? Well, sometimes it kind of just makes it worse, right?
Right.
I mean, they remember who you are, and it really, what good does it do? It really doesn't do any good.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk about this for a second. When you have the worst moments of your life that you're trying to internalize, and you can't share that moment altruistically or truthfully with others, what people will do is they will try to convince themselves that what the narrative they need to be true is what actually happened. In consensus reality, we know that that's not what happened. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I'm hearing, we only hear Bea. Okay, I'm probably
Oh, no, you're
that's way
behind.
down. Okay.
Yeah.
So people will do this as a defense mechanism against their own psyche, and their ability to metabolize and process regret is to make them think that the lie is true. That's what they do. And that is probably, I am 100, I can't say 100. I am 99% sure, if not 100, based on what Kerry Roberts is doing and Jennifer McCabe and all of them, the McAlbert clan, if you will, even the MSP officers themselves who were involved in this cover-up. This is what they're trying to do. And take it away, ladies.
Well, the biggest takeaway that I get from this is that Carrie wanted to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to fit in with Jennifer, because Jennifer was the it girl a few years ago. Don't ask me why, but anyway. And so Carrie wanted to be included. She wanted to belong. And the fact that Jennifer was so convincing about her side of what had really happened, Carrie took that and ran with it. I mean, she was there. She saw a few things, but certainly sitting at a table and going through the testimony and going through mapping it all out. What does that tell you? That is very convincing, extremely convincing.
Yeah. And this is what we're going to testify. These are our boundaries. I'm sure they had members of the district attorney's office that coach them on what their boundaries are. As I said, the most disturbing part of this is that the district attorney is meant to be fact finders. That's what their job description is. But what they turned this into was defense attorney, the role of a defense attorney, either for the Commonwealth, who had sided as a proxy for the Albert family.
Exactly. Hank should have stayed with selling his little ham sandwiches on the corner. That whole mess with Hank was so horrible. And we all saw it. You called it right from the beginning, DJ. You called it, and we all saw it right from the beginning. And how torturous, we can imagine how torture it was for Karen and her team. But because, all of us watching were tortured and felt helpless. What do you do when you've got your justice system in which you depend on carrying out the law that is on the take, on the cover up? That's my opinion now. On the take, on the cover up. The very, very sad part is that, thank God she had the attorneys that she did, but look how they had to fight and struggled to fight against Auntie Deb, against the DA's office. And every time they would gain ground, they would be knocked back 2 more pegs because the Commonwealth would come up with something more. I have never seen a case in all of my years that I have worked, well, not on, because I certainly wasn't around them, but worked in conjunction with, I'm going to say, and read for, that every day was a hearing, every day was something. Every day those people were in court. When they weren't in court, they were after Karen to get her back into court, even before the trial,
Cost her
which was
money. Yeah.
sickening. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
They wanted to break her financially, because you know what happens when you get broke financially and your attorney drops you. It's a plea deal or you're done. And I think they wanted to put her in that position. And I can almost see Hank and all the rest of them guaranteeing people, oh yeah, we're going to put Karen away. We're going to take her out. We're going to put her away. I can see that, because they were laser focused on all of that, not getting to the truth at all. They don't care about the truth.
No, that
and-
was not.
Yeah.
No, even though that's part of the job description.
That's right. And the fact that she made them look like a bunch of bullies and ridiculous idiots, and did not do their job or know their job. The fact of the matter is, now it just ticked them off. Now they're just mad and they want to do everything and anything. So that's the way it is. Anyway, but that's my 2 cents. I just wanted to tell you that Carrie is a talker. She's a talker.
I saw your tweets when they had that video with her on that McAlbert show, which they won't make that mistake again. That was a mistake that Karen made.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not going to make that mistake. They're not going to give them, that kind of stuff.
No.
You're trying to do the anti-Deb accent. So, but thank you so much for bringing that, Lady Zelda. That was very kind of you to give me the results of a reading, and give us the results of a reading that you did.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guest. We're going to have to get together. I've taken a little hiatus here for a few days, streaming so much scheduled. I'm fighting a little throat thing right now. You know how it is. But, 2026, I believe, is going to be a lot better. So I want to thank you both for doing the job, doing the Lord's work, sticking out here, sticking with it. And 2026 is a number 1 year, plus it's the year of the horse. And we're going to hit the road head on. We're going to hit the road running.
All 4 hooves.
All 4 hoofs. It's gonna be a flat out run. We are gonna just go for it. So thank you, Governor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for a great year.
You
this is the year
too.
we met you. You've been on the show multiple times, and it's been a pleasure having you.
Oh, it's been my honor and been my pleasure. Thank you so much. You guys are so wonderful.
Check her out on YouTube.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, my darling.
Bye, love.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Lady Zelda Kelly.
Love
Thank
her.
you, man. That was great.
We always have a great time when we're with her.
I know. She's such a lovely person. Let's see. I've got somebody else starred. Lisa Davies said the morning 5:06, Karen bumped John's truck. At the same 60 seconds, Jen is calling Nicole 5:07, telling her Karen's coming. They moved John outside. Lucky saw the Ford Edge. But wow, where did you get that, Lisa? Where do we know that? Thank you, KC Coffee Fiend.
So Lucky did he did a pass at 3:30, and I believe it's every 2 hours that he was hitting that area. So there was something blocking. I think the next time he came around, he said that there was the ambulance and police cars were blocking, so he couldn't drive down. So I think that is closer to the 5:30 mark. But I don't know if he says that he saw. I'm not too sure about 5:30 being where he saw the Ford Edge. I thought that was a 3:30 mark.
Yeah, let me go back to Lisa's message here. You guys provide so much great stuff for us here. So in that morning, she's saying that 5:06, Karen backs out of the garage, bumps John's truck. At the same 60 seconds, Jen is calling Nicole at 5:07, telling her Karen's coming. They moved John out. Okay, so there's a period there.
Yes.
They moved John outside, saw the Ford Edge by 5:30, 5:45 on Fairview Road.
I think it was 3:30. See, Ruby's confirming.
Okay.
That was the last when he saw it, it was 3:30. And I believe the next time he came around was when all the emergency vehicles, so he couldn't plow. But that was closer to the 5:30.
I'm trying to find it. Bea, let's see. He came first, then second time was 3:30. He came again when the first responders were there, couldn't go down the road.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yep.
This it's so complex. This is what you need a John Camo for, is for these reasons. And somebody else had a comment here that was very powerful. This is again Lisa Davey, saying, hearing Carrie screaming at Karen that dark, scary morning. We all heard her yelling, "Shut the fuck up." It still is disgusting. Her and Jen treated Karen Reed awful. Those two are horrible, evil, underhanded. Yeah. You know, I recently saw this happened in Vegas. There were 3 high school students involved, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, and a friend of the guy. And when they found the body of the girl out in the desert, I believe to the east of Vegas, and then I don't know if they found cell phone data that placed the boy there. They took the boy into an interview room. And I'm saying this, I want everybody to listen to this very closely. And if you're a McAlbert, I really, really want you listening to this. And the boy was being interviewed by the police, and the father showed up, and the father came in and he said, "Can I have a minute alone with my son?" And they said, yes. So the police leave the room and they hear the father start crying and wailing, kind of, "What did you do?" type stuff. And then the police entered back in a few minutes later. And this is like Vegas PD. And the father told the son, "Tell them what you did. Tell them what you did to that girl." And that kind of accountability is completely fucking absent in any of these players, any of these McAlberts in this case. Completely absent. They know it wasn't Karen. They know about the dog bites. Thank you. If you saw that, thank you, Metro Las Vegas cops. Thank you very much, Lisa. I don't remember the names of the players, but they arrested his son right there. His son was charged with murder, and only later, through transcripts of him talking to his girlfriend in prison, did they find out that the girlfriend was a culprit and, in fact, may have inflicted the deathly blows, because they had another higher agency look at it, and the slash marks on her face were of hatred, and that was not present in the relationship between this boy and his friend, this girl who was an athlete in the school, but the girlfriend, his girlfriend, Tony, and she ended up getting arrested, and now there's 2 teenagers in prison. So that is what's missing, is the kind of accountability for a parent to say, you messed up, you did wrong, and now you got to pay the price. But it's okay to take this broad from Fall River and pin it on her. That's okay. That's within our moral compass. But taking responsibility, that's not a thing here. So it's a very disturbing aspect of this case. Bea, what do you have to say on this?
I mean, accountability, right? That's what we're referring to. And it's unfortunate that, you know, they could have potentially saved his life if they would have called 911. If, and, you know, but let's just put that aside. There's no accountability because they tried to pin it on somebody. And it took the FBI doing an independent investigation for us to know that John did not die by her car. So the whole theory of the case is null and void because that's not how he passed away.
When you can't build, what they've tried to do is to construct and both construct evidence and obfuscate evidence around the case that they wanted to be true because it fit it fit what they wanted to happen. They wanted to get this girl arrested, charged, and convicted of murder so that they could keep the story away from the McAlbert family. And that is really disgusting because it's very obvious to anyone with a brain. Brother Counsel was actually tweeting at Kate Peter yesterday and said he basically spoke about the destruction of the cell phone of Brian Higgins and the SIM card in separate dumpsters. He used like a wire cutters or diagonal cutters, as we would have said in the Air Force, to destroy the SIM card and then put that in one dumpster and the phone in another. And those are the kinds of events that the police thirst on. Like, we're looking at Lisa Davy here. Like Dracula needs blood. The police feed. It's like they could take both hoses of blood and just go and just drink that blood, with Brian Albert destroying his phone on the same day as Brian Higgins, with Jennifer McCabe only removing one Google search in the forensic history of her phone, only deleting one Google search, guys. And then my kids tell me to clean my phone out. So you just you stay up on and delete photos from 12:20 something until whatever time in the morning. And we're supposed to believe that? You McAlberts, you Mama Llama, and you other morons think we're stupid enough to believe that? You really think we're dumb enough to believe that? Huh? You picked the wrong crowd, babe. We do not believe you because you are liars. And that evidence shows that you're liars because you act guilty. That's why you get rid of your fucking dog. Nobody gets rid of a dog they've had for 7 years. It doesn't happen. It means it's already part of your family. And then you have your house basement redone. I wonder why. I don't think that's suspicious. A guy supposedly comes in the house. I get rid of my phone. I get rid of my dog. My partner, my buddy from the ATF gets rid of his phone. Then we have the basement redone. And then we sell the home. I will bet you if we could get records on that home, I will bet you that house is paid off. Anybody who wants to bet me that that's not true, I'll go $100 with you. That the 34 Fairview was paid off when they sold it. I'll go $100 with you. If you tell me that's not true.
And then you have the flip side where Karen never deleted one single thing.
Let me get it going for you, Bea. Go get them.
Just saying.
Say it again.
You have the flip side where Karen didn't delete anything. She handed her phones over.
Exactly. So what does that mean, Mama Llama? It meant that she said, I got nothing to hide.
Right.
What do people who have to hide do? Tell me, Mama. They delete stuff. They delete stuff. That's what they do because they want to hide shit.
Right.
Ugh. Oh my God. It doesn't take I'm not the most intellectual smart guy out there, but I can figure this out. Even smarter than people than I have really figured it out. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I wonder if they know what they're going through now is worth pinning. You know who's saying that's old gray mare? 50. You know who's saying that, old gray mare? Who's saying that, Bea? Was it worth it?
Was it worth it?
Yeah, who's thinking that right now? Not the McAlberts. They don't care because they're like, it's better than one of these
Proctor.
Michael Proctor. He's the one. He's the one. Because right now, you look like a chump, Proctor. Brian Albert is retired. He's got his house in Norwood. He's got his house in Maine. He's chilling. He's loving life. and he doesn't have to work again. He could do whatever he wants, work for Matty Kraft if he wants, and you're the one that's left holding the bag. So you look like the dummy. Lisa Davy, what did they do with the pints of blood he was missing? If a car hit him, there would be, right, we're missing 3 pints of blood. And then the cracked taillight story is dumb. There's no way. It's insulting. Right. It's insulting to our intelligence collectively as a community of people, whether you're a resident of Massachusetts or you just care about the case. Consciousness of guilt, 100. Spot on. What does K9 Mind 2 say? Our Aussie. And I think we have a Kiwi in here. If we have a Kiwi, let yourself be heard. They knew after the accident incident would be held liable for the dog bite, hitting his head. Manslaughter at a minimum. The things they did couldn't be more obvious. No, right, exactly. It couldn't be more obvious.
And I think, too, if they say hypothetically they were to pin it on Lucky, who had the plow truck, maybe that's how they thought they were going to explain the arms from the plow, because that has a sharp, that whole thing in the front is sharp. So maybe that's how they were going to explain away, or they thought it would be explained away by the plow hitting him and slicing up his arms. I don't know.
They were going to, that argument, as I said before, because of the mass of that truck, which would have been filled with sand and salt and had a plow, just the intrinsic nature of how heavy that truck is without that plow on the front and being filled with sand, the damage it would have done to O'Keefe, because they would have just done the mathematical calculations and they would have showed you what would have been like if you got hit by a plow truck traveling at 20 miles an hour. It would have been many times more impact on John than would have the 6,600-pound Lexus. So I think they were going to fail at that argument. I don't think they were going to be able to make that argument. The blade of the plow alone would have made a very significant, because it's not a blunt object at that point. It's sharp when compared to a taillight, a polycarbonate taillight. So the plow would have done very, very significant damage to O'Keefe. They literally would have had to try to take a scythe or something and slice the body or do something. They wouldn't have been able to replicate the injuries. They would have had to try to use a baseball bat. It would have been worse for them, to me, with Lucky. Lucky may not have had the wherewithal to get an Alan Jackson and Eliza Little along with a Dave Yannetti and then eventually a Robert Alessi. But so that part, and they might have got him to plea, right? But the injuries, if ARCA would have got involved in this case, they were screwed. They were screwed, because it would have been more obvious that a vehicle didn't hit him. When a vehicle like Franken truck loaded down with sand would have hit him, it would have been significantly more force. So the new U.S. Attorney Leah, I don't know what her name is, Addie, is on the bail. It seems competent. I don't know if this case is on her radar, nor do we. We have no idea what is on their radar and what's not. Part 1. According to the evidence presented at trial and investigative timelines, Karen Reed's vehicle made contact with John O'Keefe's parked car in his driveway at about 5:07 a.m. in the morning. Thank you, Ruby D. Or Ruby Dizzle. Let's see. Do you think it happened in the garage? I don't have any way to know, Ken. I really don't. The Apple Health data, may speak to that, but DJ, wouldn't say for sure. It might have happened in the garage. Garages are cold that time of year, and people tend to not want to be in their garage. So it made sense that if Brian Albert had a gym in the basement of his house, that if you were going to organize a fight between these two guys, you would want it at least to be, because garages, now you have to be, they're very cold this time of year. Would you?
Right. I think there is something to be said about the cell phone battery life and the temperature. So I think that's where the theory of it being in the garage, where it didn't dip, the way the temperature the battery drained on the phone. So I think that's why a lot of, there's been a lot of talk. But again, they weren't even allowed to get into the garage because Beverly Canone didn't allow it.
Right.
So because they had taken pictures of the garage where there was like this paint. So on that step, which would have been a rigid surface, which kind of aligns with how they're saying the injury in the back of his head.
Mhm.
So, I mean, there's a lot there that they weren't able to get into, or theories, or, that they weren't able to get into, but
And weight room
everything's
equipment.
a possibility.
Yeah, when you have squat rack, when you have weight room equipment, by nature, weight room equipment is very heavy. There are some edges that are hurt. If you get hit or you fall on a squat rack and you hit your head, you're going to get hurt. Their very nature makes them things that will injure you if you fall into them in some way. So weight bench, squat rack, dumbbells, barbells, all of those things, if you hit them or they hit you, they could cause that kind of an injury to your head.
Right. And the other thing too that could have potentially happened was it did happen in the basement. Then he was moved to the garage, because if we take into account the Ford Edge, they probably would have gotten him out from the garage into the back of a truck to then go around the corner. But again, this is just me just throwing a theory out there.
That's
So
that's a great one.
both things could be true, is I guess what I'm getting at.
That's a
Because
great
initially
one.
he walked in the house and you see him going up and down the stairs. So that could be.
And Grace from Dream Feed Media has another theory about the right side of the house, and I just can't recall if there's a side door.
It's
could have
the basement steps, right? On the side. So if you're facing 34 Fairview, behind the fence is the bulkhead from the
okay.
basement.
So
To
if
the
you-
right is the garage, and then the middle entrance and the front entrance.
So if they pull the Ford Edge up to that and that they open that fence, that's how you could get the body up and out.
That's if they
Potentially.
did it through the basement.
The
If they
basement,
did it
yeah.
from the garage, that Ford Edge should have been parked on the garage side where they would have put his body in. And can I add another detail too? If you
Please.
look at his pants, it has a very strange, what I would say, a drag mark. Like the way his pocket ripped would have been something like you're trying to lift dead weight. Because obviously somebody who's expired is going to be dead weight. So that could be potentially why the pants ripped the way they did. Again, trying to move him, around the house.
And he wasn't expired, but yeah, I mean, there was a time with something like Levi's where you had these riveted jeans where maybe you could have picked somebody up by that, depending. But yeah, I mean, 220-pound guy that at least would feel like he's expired because he doesn't have any motor control at that point.
Right. At least he was passed out. Yeah.
He would have felt like he was expired. Ruby D says, according to testimony and phone records discussed at the Karen Reed murder trial, Jennifer, quote, Jen McCabe made a phone call to her sister, Nicole Albert, at around 5:07 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, very unusual. Geez. Who calls your sister that early on a weekend morning? So, DJ, great.
Which then would explain why she didn't go in the house, because she already had talked to her sister, knew her sister was okay. Just by the way.
Yeah, I agree with what Trust is Love says here. That any of the kind of rancor, the McAlberts are laughing and they're loving it. They're probably looking at Twitter and going, these guys are going to self-destruct before they ever raise any money for Karen. So yeah, I agree with you. The McAlberts love it. So we need to stick together as best we can as a community. I need Carrie in a room with my mom. She would get her to spill the beans.
She's a talker.
She's a talker. Lisa says, Brian A. saying I'm a Boston cop in Canton is the Canton police jurisdiction, but John's a Boston cop, your own brother in blue. Shame on you, Brian Albert. And Proctor gambled. No pun intended. There's a little pun there. Remember Proctor and Gamble?
Yeah.
Proctor did gamble. Thank you, Lacey Davy. That is a wonderful pun. We applaud those kinds of puns. And Proctor lost. You gave up a beautiful state police career for Brian Albert. That's what you did. You could have gone, knocked on the door. You could have had Berkey blowing your phone up and saying, Chief Berkowitz, we're doing a straight up investigation here. I'm following the protocol. And that's that. There's not going to be no shenanigans, no Brother Blue stuff. We have a dead officer, or we have an officer who's now dead that was found on the lawn. I'm going in, I'm doing an investigation in the house. And I'm bringing CSI in, and they are going to detect bleach all over the fucking place.
Right.
All over the place.
And even who they called isn't even like crime scene services. They called a section of the that locate like missing bodies.
This is what JFK and James were working on, that video from the waterfall. There is no question that when Chris Albert is trying to hold Higgins back, and right now it looks like it's my left hand, and he's doing that, trying to lean around him. He definitely wanted to have a fight with John O'Keefe. He definitely invited John O'Keefe over there for a fight. He definitely wanted to give John O'Keefe a black eye to show Karen. She picked the wrong protector, wrong hunter-gatherer, because he can't protect you, but I can. Watch. I just beat your boyfriend's ass.
And that's why I think like they could have, if they were just looking to, have a quick little fight, it could have been done right outside the waterfall. They have a huge parking lot. But the thing, bringing them to, it goes to show you that this was somehow accidental, because they wouldn't have just brought him back to the house if they were planning on unaliving him. You wouldn't do it at the house. You could have done it in the parking lot. So I don't think that's why I think this is all a big accident with a cover up. Make sense?
Yeah. I don't know if it's an accident or not. Because when you have drunk people making decisions, you don't know if they're making sound judgments based on what's happening. I think that that at least the occupants of the house think that they committed a crime, and that's why they did not render aid to John or allow a nurse in the home. I don't know. I wish we had a nurse in the home to render aid, and maybe there's 3 numbers that we can dial in which an ambulance will come, and a moron like Katie McLaughlin will show up. And God help you if you're putting her life in your life in her hands. So I think they committed a crime, and that's why they didn't render aid to John. I don't know what Lady Zelda means by this. So Lady Zelda, tell me what you know about voodoo dolls, and if that's do you know something?
Yes. Okay. So it was said that Jen McCabe in her kitchen table has a basket of voodoo dolls of all, of Karen and some players. So yeah.
What's the sauce?
It was somebody who, I believe it was Kate Peters who saw it.
Wow.
And
Wow.
LG confirmed it.
Are you kidding me?
So she has a basket of voodoo dolls.
Oh my God. Wow. She's doing black magic. Wow. Wow.
See, that's Lady Zelda just said, I predicted earlier this year that Jen was into dark stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Julie's a remote viewer. Julie, if you can remote view the McCabe home and see if you see a basket of voodoo dolls. We don't just for public service announcement for CAB, we do not talk negatively about content creators in our chat or on our show. If we don't have something nice to say about a creator, we don't say anything at all. And let's just keep it that, because we want to keep the positive energy in this joint. You like how I did a self-edit there? You guys like that?
Okay. Good job.
We love you guys. We really do. We love being here and doing this, and we love analyzing this stuff. And we're going to continue to bring you more Massachusetts justice case stuff. We need to look back in. We need to dig up some stuff on that, on North Andover PD. Bea, that should be a goal. We also have the Florida cases. I got to call Volusia County Sheriff's Office Detective Turner. I got his cell phone. Now it's kind of back to work tomorrow, and I need to call Detective Turner because we are representing the interests of Karavich and of Marcus Blicker's Marcus Blicker's fiance, and her name is Jenny Tatro. So they didn't have a chance to get married. Both of them were killed in stand your ground cases in Florida. So I need to follow up with them. Believe me, like Massachusetts justice is literally like a full-time job. Seriously, especially when you're organizing events, and we got an event coming up that's going to be bigger and better than the last one that we had a meeting about today. Except Mike Crawford's going to be hosting. So you got that going for you. You don't have to look at me and listen to me babble. But yeah, the blood is in the garage and on the floor of the basement. Ruby, are you a remote viewer? What do you got going on over there? We got remote viewer Julie. We have psychic reader and card reader, tarot reader, Lady Zelda. They knew if John survived, he would tell the truth. Yeah, that's what I feel like happened. Well, she didn't reset the phone. What else we got here? If they left him out there, this is from Old Gray Mare 58. If they just left him out there and played Mickey the Dunce, the police would have it covered up. It would have gone away. No one would have gone to trial, hit and run. You know, that's one of Bea's hypotheses. What would have happened if Karen Reed would have never got up that morning? She would have woke up at 9, but so people kind of want to know, like, did she love John and all? Absolutely, she loved John. That's what all those messages are about. Those texts and voicemails. If she didn't give a shit, she would have slept till 9 a.m. or 8:30 and woke up. Oh, what happened? And then found out that John was dead by somebody calling her. Because somebody would have drove by and saw him on the lawn. And that's where they think, we're pretty sure they were going to try to pin it on Lucky Loughran.
Right.
Let's see. I'm going to try to go to 30.
Let me know. I'll meet you down there.
Oh, wow.
Lady Zelda.
That would be dope. A good forensic team of state-of-the-art equipment would find something in that basement. I have no doubt. I have no doubt about that, Ken. It was a dog. There would have been a lot more bruising if it was a plow. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, there again, you're looking at not the math guy. I'm the English history guy, but force times mass equals acceleration. It would have been those guys from ARCA would have had an absolute field day if they would have asserted that a plow truck hit O'Keefe. Because it would have been even more incongruent with him not having bruises. Something big is
and you would have had broken
PD.
bones.
John was going. Oh, wow. Wow. Awesome. Talking about Johnny. Oh, was going to IG. I don't know if that's been rumored for a long time, Chaos Granny. So if that's true, then that's really interesting.
Oh yeah. Leah Foley.
Oh, the new Attorney General. Yep. Kenson, 10,000%. For Ken Hathaway. See that? People that say the Aussies and the Brits can't get along. There's Ruby and Ken. There we go. The Aussies and the Brits. Disagree about Lucky. He would have. Yes. No, you
Right.
might be right. You might be right that he would have done that. But if the feds would have caught wind of this and they would have hired ARCA and given it to his defense attorney, then this could have been a thing. And we also, I'm going to be fully transparent with you. I spoke with John Camo on this, and John Camo won't even tell me that Mike Loughran would have necessarily taken Lucky's side. I shouldn't say that. Would have. How powerful an advocate. I think when you're looking at your brother going away for life and you smell a rat, Mike Loughran would have then become the McAlberts, would have become them instead of us. Right now, Mike Loughran and the McAlberts is us because they're both on the select board. But when he saw his brother going in handcuffs and in an orange jumpsuit, the McAlberts might have become them. And that's where he might have exhausted his resources to help his brother. And if ARCA gets involved, that could have been a force multiplier for his defense because it would have been more difficult for them to prove that. As you say, yeah, Deitch, we need Deitch in as DA. Kelly Deaver in the garaha.
No, it's the garage.
Oh, garage. What's up, homies?
Everybody tries to say it with
up,
the
Amber?
Massachusetts accent.
It
The
does.
garage.
DJ and Bea, I found it. All of a sudden, I came out and caught John's data proves he went up and downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was one and not the other. I don't know. It was either ascended or descended. So I don't remember which. Yeah.
Keep in mind, your Apple Watch doesn't it tracks when you go upstairs.
I think it's down, but I don't know.
Down?
Maybe you're
Okay.
probably right. You're probably, this is not our area of expertise, but it was amazing. In the first and in between the first and second trial, there were some analysts out there that had data for days, man. Some incredible people had spreadsheets and columns and data. It was a lot of those people have gone.
It's upstairs. I know it is. I don't even have to. Yeah,
Fair
it
enough.
tracks you going upstairs because,
Yeah, because that makes sense. That's what they would want to track,
Right.
for your health. Bev
Correct.
was another member of the prosecution, 100%. So, all right, we got to get out of here. So we're going to play our videos and get out of here. So here
All
we go.
right, sounds good.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Camo.
To defend the truth. But here's the twist. Its truth only covers a very selective group of witnesses. The site has dramatic photos, bold claims of intimidation, and heartfelt appeals, but zero mention of Michael Proctor. That's right.
Which episode was this? Oh,
So
this was our Canton report.
Correct. Yes. I wanted to, just showcase everyone. If you want to go straight to the next one,
I will.
Just to kind of
move it along.
But that was one of our proudest episodes. So
yeah, that was good. We need to do another one of those. We got to gen up another one of those things if we can get Johnny involved. Okay, and here we go.
Yeah, this is the one I'm referring to.
This is the last one. Here we go.
Yes.
All right, everybody, get ready for how you know I'm not talking to Karen Reed.
How do you know I'm not talking to Karen Reed?
I don't think some of the supporters understand what those moments walking into court every day, and there were rainy days, but there were a lot of very beautiful sunny days, and I would roll the window down near this little square, this kind of courtyard area in Dedham, and I would see the Sweeneys, and I would eventually see Scott, and I don't think you understand what that moment in time meant to me, that might I not leave this courthouse the same way that I'm arriving at the courthouse. And I was excited, even with what was happening. I was excited to get off the exit every day. And I've never been embraced by people like this for any other.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a powerful one, right? This is why we all came together. So that's what I wanted to showcase for the last video, why we're here and why we're going to keep moving forward doing the same thing.
Yeah, this is really a difficult one. It's one of the. Let me put Lisa's comment up there. Yeah, it is very difficult to process on air with her. Something that one of my most difficult moments that I've ever had on air, where I was starting to kind of like tear up, so just kind of get misty. So that's what we're here for, and that's what we're going to stay here for. And thank you, Karen and Nick Rocco. No, God bless you, Lisa Davey and Boston Bea. She's the one that put this together and picked out these clips. And thank you, Lisa, for your contribution. For all of you here, you guys are what matter, not us. We're just talking heads trying to bring attention to a cause and trying to raise money for a cause. but without you, we are nothing. You know, we are nothing. And I've been in touch with Rocker Chick on Facebook, so we have something planned as well that I'll let you know about offline, Bea. Thank you, Rocker Chick, for reaching out. We've also had someone named Brenna O'Brien from the community that has reached out to us and offered to help. What has that yielded us? Okay, that yielded us that she emailed and got the attention of Runkle of the Bailey. And I can tell you that I've reached out to Runkle of the Bailey and was not able to get his attention. And so we plan on having him on the next fundraiser. So with that, nothing but love for all of you and for the community at large. And let's do this damn thing together one way or the other.
Absolutely.
Bea, anything to add?
Well, just want to say that what you saw in that last clip is people that cared about Karen coming together, bringing awareness to something that's still important. And like what we told her, we're here to see you through this, and that still stands.
Can somebody give me an amen? And with that, because we heard from Charlotte the Thunderbird today, I'm going to play her video for the outro, not the other one. So with that, thank you everybody in the chat that gave us so much love and attention. Lady Zelda for jumping in, Valhalla Law, the official attorney of Calling All Beings, Nan Gallagher, Rocker Chick, everybody, the mods, Captain Jerry Harris, the original gangster, Jules of Indiana, and even we had Boston Brandy in here.
We had Boston Brandy,
this
yes.
is let's just put this is the most important thing that you're going to see tonight on Twitter or on YouTube. This is what Jules has said here is the most important thing that you're going to see. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We
Thank
love you
you.
all.